I wanted to pop in today just to talk about some basics of EFT. So I know some of you have been in my group for quite some time, and I've talked a lot about EFT, but I know there are some of you that are new. And so I thought I would come on and talk a little bit more about EFT, or what some people call tapping, and show you some of the basics about tapping. So a few quick notes about tapping is that one nice thing is you do not have to worry about doing it right. So you can feel at ease to know that you're not going to tap somewhere and something that's going to happen. Don't worry about that. You really can't do it wrong, but you can do it more effectively. So I'd like to show you all of the tapping points. And then after I show you some tapping points, how about we do a quick tapping round together? Sound good? Okay, so some of the main quick points are eyebrow. So right here where your eyebrow is, and there's a bone right there, just use the tips of your fingers and just very gently tap there. You can do one hand, you can do two hands. I like to do two hands, but it's entirely up to you. Then after eyebrow, we go to side of the eye, and there's a little bone right there, and you just gently tap there. We usually do around 5 to 7 short taps. Sometimes when I'm working with a client and I'm working through a process, we might tap on a point a little bit longer than that, but that's about the basic, is 5 to 7 taps. Then we go under the eye, this little bone right here under the eye, and remember, don't tap too hard, just light little taps. Then we go under the nose, just right here between your top lip and under your nose. And then we take it to chin, where that little shelf is right there. And there's chin. Then we take it to collarbone. So collarbone is where you have those two little knobs right here. Some people call it bow tie, if that helps you to remember the location. And I just make like a U out of my hand, and I just tap very gently right there in the collarbone. And sometimes even just the collarbone, just to sit and tap like this, is very calming without even hitting any of the other points. Just a quick tip for you. Then we are going to go under the arm. So it's about 3 to 4 inches under the pit of your arm, so underarm. Some people skip this point altogether, but I usually include it. And then we go to top of the head. And with the top of the head, sometimes I make just like a little O shaped out of my fingers, plant on top of my head, and I may even go in a circle. Like I'm drawing a little circle on the crown of my head. Those are some of the basic points. Now the very starting point is called the karate chop point. And the karate chop point is right here on the side of your hand. Again, you use the tips of your fingers and you just gently tap, 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 tap. And this is where I start when I work with clients and when I'm going to tap here with you. I come up with some basic statements when I'm working with someone. When I talk to somebody and we talk about maybe some issues or areas that they're struggling in, and we have a conversation about it, and from that conversation I will pull out, with their help, a sentence or a statement that maybe they have a concern about. And we use those sentences or statements to start on the karate chop point. And after we go through those statements, then we go through all of those other points that I showed you. And sometimes we'll go through 2, 3 times and we'll change up the wording. And at the very end, we'll take a deep breath. And then afterwards, I like to check in with a person to see, how did their thoughts change, or how do they feel differently about the issue that we talked about, and kind of see on a scale from 1 to 10 where they started until after the tapping, maybe how they feel about that issue. And so those are the real basics as far as the tapping points when we do tapping or EFT together. Okay, so remember, you can't do it wrong. You can just do it more effectively. Another tip is to do it often. The more you do it, the more confident you get using it, and you can see lots more changes in the way you're thinking and the way you're feeling. Just like exercise or eating well, when you're consistent, you'll see better progress. And don't do it hard. Don't tap hard because you don't want to hurt yourself. There's no reason to tap too hard. It doesn't mean that it's going to be more effective. Just means probably going to bruise yourself if you keep tapping on the same spot over and over really hard. And all of this is based on the meridian in your body, which is Eastern medicine, is what we're talking about here. So if you've ever done acupressure or acupuncture, it's basically the same thing, but we're just tapping on these various points. So it's very, very simple. Okay, so let's do one quick round together. And since we talk a lot about anxiety, let's just do a real basic round on anxiety, okay? So we're going to start at that karate chop point. You're just lightly tapping. Just tap along with me. You can repeat after me, or you can just listen to me. And I'll direct you to each point, okay? All right. So let's start. So even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you're just repeating after me. So even though I feel anxious and stressed out, and I don't know when this is going to go away, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel super anxious, and I really don't like this feeling, but I'm going to accept myself right now. Okay, let's take it to the eyebrow. This feeling of being anxious, side of the eye, I really do not like this feeling. Under the eye, I don't know why I start feeling this way. Under the nose, what is it that I'm doing that makes me feel anxious? Chin, I really do not like feeling anxious. Collarbone, it makes my whole body feel horrible. Under the arm, I get headaches or I feel sick. Top of the head, and I feel like everything is out of control. Let's go back to the eyebrow. I don't like feeling out of control. Side of the eye, I don't know what to do when things feel out of control. Under the eye, I really want to feel better. Under the nose, maybe I need to start letting go of things. Chin, maybe trying to hold on to stuff and control things is what makes me feel so anxious. Collarbone, I do not like this anxiety and stress. Under the arm, what if I could let it go? Top of the head, maybe this really isn't serving me at all, especially since I don't feel good. Eyebrow, I'm ready to let go of this anxiety. Side of the eye, this really doesn't feel good. Under the eye, I know I can feel better. Under the nose, I just need to look at this differently. Chin, I'm ready to let go of all this stress. Collarbone, and I think I can come up with some good solutions to handle this situation. Under the arm, it feels like such a relief to let all this go. I don't have to hold on to this and control this. Top of the head, I am so excited to know that I have a new way of dealing with this anxiety and stress. I am so ready to let it all go. Take a deep breath. Okay, so that was a really, really basic round or 3 rounds of tapping, we actually went from the negative, being a little confused or frustrated or just not sure what to think, and slowly moved into, I think I could do this differently. I think there's a better solution and I'm open to it. And sometimes going from the negative to the positive not only relaxes us with the tapping, but it does give us new ideas and a different perspective. So I hope this was helpful for you. I'm going to be popping in here each week and doing some tapping with you. So if you ever have any suggestions, things you would like for me to tap on, go ahead and comment or send me a message and I'd be happy to tap away with you. So happy Tapping Tuesday. See you next time. Bye-bye.